Step away from the vehicle. That Lexus isn't yours. Officer, I own this car. I can show you. You own it? Officer Vance Keller yanks him out by the collar. A black man in a $60,000 car in Westbrook. Don't insult me. You stole it. Marcus Whitaker raises his hands, his voice steady but edged with quiet disbelief. Sir, if you check my registration, your kind always has fake papers. Officer Vance Keller slams him onto the hood. I've seen it 100 times. A crowd gathers. A teenager films and laughs. A man in a suit nods at Officer Vance Keller like he is some kind of hero. No one questions the officer. Everyone suspects the black man. Officer Vance Keller cuffs him and smiles. Easy arrest. Good numbers. Another satisfying day. He has no idea that the black man he just accused of stealing his own car is a state Supreme Court justice. And soon every person standing here will be begging for forgiveness. They just don't know it yet. But this story doesn't start here. It starts moments earlier inside a courtroom that exists only in the future. Officer Vance Keller sits at the defendant's table. His hands tremble. Sweat drips down his temple. The badge is gone. The gun is gone. The smirk is gone. A judge looks down at him. The same man he shoved onto a hood. The same man he called a thief. That moment is coming. But right now in this parking lot, Officer Vance Keller sees nothing but another easy arrest. Another black man who doesn't belong, another story he has heard 100 times. Marcus Whitaker, lies face down on the hood of his own car. The metal is cold. His wrists ache from the cuffs, but his mind is calm, clear, focused. He counts the violations. 1, no probable cause stated. 2, no opportunity to present identification. 3, excessive force without provocation. He reaches 14 before Officer Vance Keller finishes the pat-down. By the end of this day, there will be 18. Inside the grocery store, a woman checks her phone. A notification appears. Share location with Marcus. She frowns. Her husband never sends this, not unless something is wrong. Her name is Elena Whitaker. She spent 23 years as an FBI special agent. She has handled hostage situations in 3 countries, talked down armed gunmen, and testified before Congress. And right now her instincts are screaming. She abandons her cart and walks toward the exit. Her pace is steady, controlled. The pace of someone who has learned that panic gets people killed. Through the glass doors, she sees the parking lot, she sees the crowd, she sees the police cruiser, she sees her husband in handcuffs. Her hand moves to her phone. She does not run. She does not scream. She presses record because Elena Whitaker knows something Officer Vance Keller does not. Documentation wins, emotion loses, evidence is everything. She has 1.4 million followers from her true crime podcast appearances. By the time she reaches the parking lot, that number will not matter, but the live stream will. Soon, 2.3 million people will watch Officer Vance Keller's career end in real time. The countdown has begun. Rewind. Marcus Whitaker pulls into the Westbrook Plaza parking lot. Saturday afternoon, overcast sky. The kind of gray that makes everything feel heavier than it should. He finds a spot near the entrance and texts his wife. Got the good spot? Take your time. Elena replies with a heart emoji. She has been looking forward to this. A normal weekend, groceries, maybe a movie later. No cases, no briefs, no courtrooms. Marcus smiles and opens a document on his phone. The ruling is due soon. The ruling that will reshape police accountability in Ohio. Paragraph 52 stares back at him. Qualified immunity cannot shield willful misconduct. When officers weaponize authority against citizens, the law must respond. He wrote those words weeks ago. He had no idea he would soon live them. A patrol car enters the lot. Officer Vance Keller scans the vehicles. It is a habit. 9 years on the force. 2-time Officer of the Year. The department's golden boy. The face on recruitment posters, his eyes land on the Lexus. Nice car, very nice. $60,000 at least. Tinted windows, chrome trim, the kind of vehicle that belongs in the suburbs, not outside a grocery store in this part of Westbrook. Then he sees the driver. Black male, mid-50s, sitting alone, looking at his phone. Officer Vance Keller's jaw tightens. Something does not fit. Something never fits when he sees this combination. Nice car, wrong driver. He has seen it before. Stolen vehicles, drug deals, gang activity disguised as suburban comfort. He runs the plates. The system responds in seconds. The Lexus is registered to Marcus J. Whitaker. Address in Whitmore Heights. No warrants. No flags. Clean record. Officer Vance Keller frowns. He runs them again. Same result. Clean. But Officer Vance Keller trusts his gut more than any computer. Computers can be fooled. Systems can be manipulated. Fake registrations exist. He has seen it. He is sure of it. He pulls up behind the Lexus and steps out. Marcus looks up from his phone. He sees the officer approaching. His hand instinctively moves to lower the window. A lifetime of conditioning. A lifetime of knowing how these moments can end. Good afternoon, officer. Is there a problem? Officer Vance Keller does not answer the question. License and registration. Of course, Marcus's movements are slow, deliberate, announced. I'm reaching into my glove compartment. My registration is inside. Stop. Officer Vance Keller's hand moves to his holster. Step out of the vehicle first. Marcus pauses. May I ask why? I said step out. Officer, I'm happy to cooperate, but I'd like to understand. Marcus opens the door slowly. He keeps his hands visible. He has done this before. Every black man in America has done this before. The choreography of survival, the performance of non-threat. He stands beside his car. My wallet is in my back pocket. May I? Hands on the vehicle. Hands on the... Don't move. Marcus complies. His palms press against the warm metal of his Lexus. His Lexus. The car he bought years ago. The car he paid for with money he earned. The car that is now being treated as evidence of a crime. A bystander notices the scene. She pulls out her phone and starts recording. She is maybe 17. Hoop earrings, pink nails. She is not concerned. She is entertained. Yo, this is wild, she says to no one in particular. More people gather. A couple pauses with their shopping cart. A man in a business suit stops to watch. Someone laughs. Officer Vance Keller notices the phones. He does not mind. He squares his shoulders, straightens his posture. Let them record. He is Officer of the Year. He knows how to perform. Sir, this vehicle was reported stolen. Marcus's voice remains calm. That's not possible. This is my car. I've owned it for years. That's what they all say. If you check the registration, I don't need paper. Officer Vance Keller's voice rises. I need you to explain why you're sitting in a $60,000 car in a neighborhood like this. A neighborhood like this. The words hang in the air. The crowd hears them. Some nod. Some smirk. One woman whispers to her husband, he's got a point. No one questions the question itself. No one asks why a black man in a nice car requires explanation. No one wonders what a neighborhood like this really means. Marcus takes a breath. Officer, my name is Marcus Whitaker. I live in Whitmore Heights. I'm waiting for my wife. She's inside the store. If you'd like to verify. Officer Vance Keller laughs. That's a nice neighborhood. Very nice. How does someone like you afford Whitmore Heights? Someone like you. The teenager's phone captures everything. The comments start rolling in. LOL. He big mad. Cop is just doing his job. Why can't he just show his ID guilty until proven innocent? Marcus says nothing. He has learned that words do not work in these moments. Only time, only evidence, only the slow machinery of justice. But Officer Vance Keller is not interested in justice. He is interested in being right. Turn around. Hands behind your back. Officer, I haven't done anything. Resisting arrest, that's what you're doing now. Officer Vance Keller grabs Marcus's arm and spins him around. The cuffs click shut. Too tight. The metal bites into Marcus's wrists. Violation number 8. The crowd watches. No one intervenes. The teenager keeps filming. The businessman checks his watch. The couple resumes walking toward their car. A grandmother pushes past with her shopping cart. She glances at Marcus, then at Officer Vance Keller, then away. She does not want trouble. She has seen this before. It is not her business. Officer Vance Keller radios dispatch. 10:15 in progress, Westbrook Plaza, black male mid-50s, possible stolen vehicle. Possible, not confirmed, not verified. Possible. But in Officer Vance Keller's mind, possible is enough. It has always been enough. He guides Marcus toward the cruiser. The back door opens. The plastic seat waits. Marcus ducks his head and slides inside. The door slams shut. Through the mesh divider, he watches Officer Vance Keller speaking to the crowd, smiling, nodding, accepting their approval. Marcus's cuffed hands rest on his knees. His wrists throb, his shoulders ache, but his mind stays focused. Qualified immunity cannot shield willful misconduct. He wrote those words for cases like this. He just never imagined he would become one. The cruiser smells like disinfectant and old coffee. Marcus sits in the back, his hands cuffed behind him. The plastic seat cracks with every movement. The mesh divider cuts the world into small squares. Through the window, He watches Officer Vance Keller approach a second officer who has just arrived, a young woman, late 20s. Her nameplate reads Reyes. Officer Lauren Reyes surveys the scene with cautious eyes. Something does not feel right. The crowd is too entertained. The arrest happened too fast. "What do we have?" she asks. Officer Vance Keller shrugs. "Stolen vehicle? Guy claims it's his, the Lexus." Officer Lauren Reyes glances at the car. "I ran the plates when I pulled in. They're clean. Systems can be wrong. They weren't wrong. The car is registered to a Marcus Whitaker address in Whitmore Heights." Officer Vance Keller's jaw tightens. "So he's got good fake papers. That's not new." Officer Lauren Reyes hesitates. She has been on the force for 2 years. She has learned when to push and when to stay quiet. This feels like a moment to push, but Officer Vance Keller is Officer of the Year. Officer Vance Keller has connections. Officer Vance Keller has the captain's ear. She stays quiet. Inside the cruiser, Marcus watches the exchange. He cannot hear the words, but he reads the body language. The young officer is uncertain. She knows something is off, but she will not act on it. He has seen this before. The silent complicity, the career calculations, the small surrenders that enable big injustices. Officer Lauren Reyes walks toward the cruiser and opens the door. "Sir, can I see some identification?" "My wallet is in my back pocket," Marcus says calmly. "The officer didn't allow me to retrieve it." Officer Lauren Reyes looks at Officer Vance Keller. He shrugs. He was being uncooperative. Uncooperative. The word echoes in Marcus's mind. He has not raised his voice. He has not moved without permission. He has not done anything but ask questions. In America, asking questions while black is uncooperative. Officer Lauren Reyes reaches into Marcus's pocket and retrieves his wallet. She opens it. Driver's license. Credit cards. A family photo. Marcus, Elena, their daughter in a graduation gown. She looks at the license, looks at Marcus, looks at the license again. "The registration matches," she says quietly. "It's his car." Officer Vance Keller does not blink. Could be stolen identity, happens all the time. Book him, let the detective sort it out. Officer Lauren Reyes closes the wallet. She wants to argue. She wants to say this is wrong. But Officer Vance Keller is already walking back to his cruiser. The decision is made. She meets Marcus's eyes through the mesh. "I'm sorry," she mouths. He nods. He does not blame her. Not entirely. The system is designed this way. It rewards silence. It punishes courage. It promotes people like Officer Vance Keller and sidelines people like Officer Lauren Reyes, until now. Officer Vance Keller slides into the driver's seat and starts the engine. His body camera is mounted on his chest. The red light blinks. Recording. Then it stops. Officer Vance Keller has turned it off. Marcus notices. Violation 15. The cruiser pulls out of the parking lot. The crowd disperses. The teenager pockets her phone, already editing the footage for maximum drama. The businessman finishes his shopping. The grandmother loads her groceries. Life continues. But inside the police station, something is about to break, because the desk sergeant is about to type a name into the system. And when he does, His screen will freeze. And when he makes a phone call, chains will start to move. Detective Adrian Soto is sitting in his office right now reviewing files. Months of investigation, 8 complaints against Officer Vance Keller, 8 victims, 8 cases closed without action. He does not know it yet, but his phone is about to buzz. And when he sees the name Marcus Whitaker, everything will change. The machinery of justice is slow, but today it is about to accelerate. Officer Vance Keller checks his mirror and smiles. Good arrest, clean work, another number for his record. He has no idea that his career is now measured in minutes and counting. The Westbrook Police Station sits on the corner of Madison and 5th. Red brick, American flag. A building that looks like justice, but often delivers something else. Officer Vance Keller pulls the cruiser into the back lot and escorts Marcus through the rear entrance. The fluorescent lights hum. The hallways smell like floor wax and burned coffee. At the front desk, Sergeant Ellis Vaughn looks up from his computer. 30 years on the job, seeing everything, surprised by nothing. What do we have? Stolen vehicle, Officer Vance Keller says. Guy claims it's his. Name, Marcus Whitaker. Sergeant Ellis Vaughn types it in. The system processes, then freezes. He frowns. Types again. Same result. That's weird, he mutters. What? System's acting up. Sergeant Ellis Vaughn picks up the phone and dials an internal line. Captain, you might want to come down here. We have a situation. Officer Vance Keller does not notice. He is busy filling out paperwork. Another routine arrest. Another stat for the board. He is already thinking about dinner, maybe a beer, maybe 2. 3 floors up, Captain Lyle Hargrove answers the phone. His face changes as he listens. He hangs up without a word and stares at his desk. He has protected Officer Vance Keller for years. Buried 8 complaints. Blocked 2 internal investigations. Officer Vance Keller is his investment, his legacy, the face of the department's future. But the name Marcus Whitaker changes everything. Captain Lyle Hargrove knows that name. Everyone in Ohio law enforcement knows that name. He picks up the phone again. This time he dials Detective Adrian Soto. Detective Adrian Soto answers on the second ring. Internal Affairs. Soto speaking. My office now. The line goes dead. Detective Adrian Soto frowns. Captain Lyle Hargrove never calls him directly. They exist in different worlds. Captain Lyle Hargrove protects officers. Detective Adrian Soto investigates them. Their paths cross only in conflict. He grabs his jacket and heads upstairs. Meanwhile, in the parking lot of Westbrook Plaza, Elena Whitaker steps through the sliding doors. Her shopping cart is abandoned. Her phone is recording. Her eyes scan the lot. The Lexus is there, but Marcus is not. A police cruiser is pulling away. She sees her husband through the rear window, handcuffed, head down. Her stomach drops, but her training kicks in. Document first, react second. She raises her phone and captures the cruiser's plate number. Then she opens her contacts. 3 names, 3 messages. First, her lawyer. Emergency. Marcus arrested Westbrook Plaza. Need you now. Second, her podcast producer. Story breaking. Need broadcast platform. Standby. Third, a contact at the Washington Post. You're going to want to see this. Call me. Each message sends with a soft whoosh. 3 detonators. 3 fuses lit. Elena walks to the Lexus, calm, steady, the pace of someone who has handled worse. She reaches the car and sees Marcus's phone on the ground, cracked screen, still glowing. Ohio Supreme Court draft opinion. She picks it up, her jaw tightens. The ruling is due soon. The ruling that would reshape police accountability. The ruling that made Marcus a target to some and a hero to others. She photographs the phone where it fell. Evidence. Then she calls Detective Adrian Soto. He answers immediately. Elena, they arrested Marcus, Westbrook Plaza. Officer Vance Keller made the stop. Silence on the line. Then, Holloway? You've been investigating him for months, 8 complaints. How do you know that? I was FBI for 23 years, Adrian. I know everything. Another pause. Where are you now? Heading to the station. I'm going to live stream. Elena, wait, 2.3 million followers. Adrian, by the time I'm done, the whole country will know what Officer Vance Keller did to a Supreme Court justice. Just give me 20 minutes. Let me get to the station first. Let me control this from the inside. Elena considers. She trusts Detective Adrian Soto. He is one of the good ones. Rare, but real. 20 minutes, she says. Then I go live. She hangs up. Inside the station, Detective Adrian Soto stands in Captain Lyle Hargrove's office. The door is closed. The blinds are drawn. Captain Lyle Hargrove looks like he has aged years in minutes. It's Marcus Whitaker, he says, the Supreme Court Justice. Detective Adrian Soto already knows, but hearing it from Captain Lyle Hargrove makes it real. Where is he now? Holding. Keller is processing him. Processing him for what? The plates are clean. The car is his. Captain Lyle Hargrove rubs his temples. Keller says it's suspicious. Blackmail, expensive car, sitting alone. That's not a crime, Captain. I know that. Captain Lyle Hargrove slams his hand on the desk. I know that, but Keller doesn't. And now we have a Supreme Court justice in our holding cell, and his wife is ex-FBI, and the whole thing is probably being filmed by 15 different phones. Detective Adrian Soto straightens. So what do you want me to do? Captain Lyle Hargrove looks at him. For a moment, something like honesty flickers across his face. Fear, desperation, the realization that his empire is built on sand. Fix it, he says. Make this go away. Detective Adrian Soto nods slowly. I'll handle it. He walks out of the office and heads downstairs, but he has no intention of making this go away. For months, he has been building a case against Officer Vance Keller. 8 complaints, 8 victims, 8 families who were told their pain did not matter. Now he has victim number 9. And victim number 9 writes the laws. Detective Adrian Soto pulls out his phone and sends one text. Preserve all footage. Body cam, dash cam, security cameras, everything. Authorization code 7 alpha. The evidence preservation protocol is now active. Whatever Officer Vance Keller did today, it is recorded somewhere. And Detective Adrian Soto is going to find it. The clock is ticking. Elena Whitaker does not run. She walks, each step measured, each breath controlled. She has talked down armed gunmen in Kabul. She has negotiated hostage releases in Bogota. This is just a parking lot. This is just a police station. This is just her husband in handcuffs. She reaches her car and sits behind the wheel. Her phone is mounted on the dashboard. The camera faces her. The live stream is ready. Not yet. She promised Detective Adrian Soto 20 minutes. She keeps her promises, but she is not waiting idle. She opens Twitter. 1.4 million followers. She types, "Something is happening. Stand by. Westbrook Justice." She does not explain, does not accuse, just plants the seed. The replies start immediately. "What's going on? You okay? Tell us more." She ignores them. Let the anticipation build. At the station, Detective Adrian Soto moves quickly. He intercepts Officer Vance Keller in the hallway. "I'll take it from here." Officer Vance Keller frowns. "Take what?" "The Whitaker booking. Captain's orders." "Since when does internal affairs handle bookings?" "Since now." Detective Adrian Soto's voice is flat, final. "Go write your report. I've got this." Officer Vance Keller hesitates. Something feels off. But Detective Adrian Soto outranks him in situations like this. Technically, bureaucratically. "Fine." Officer Vance Keller shrugs. He's in interview room 3. Enjoy. He walks away, already pulling out his phone. Time to update Instagram. Another day, another caller. He adds a flexing emoji, posts it, likes pour in. He smiles. By tomorrow, that post will have thousands of comments. None will be supportive. Detective Adrian Soto watches him go, then enters interview room 3. Marcus sits at the metal table, still cuffed, still calm. "Justice Whitaker," Detective Adrian Soto says quietly. "I'm Detective Adrian Soto, Internal Affairs." Marcus studies him. "You've been investigating Keller for months. 8 complaints. 8 that I know of. Probably more." Marcus nods. "There's about to be a 9th. Detective Adrian Soto sits across from him. "I know, and I need you to trust me for the next 30 minutes. "Why should I?" Detective Adrian Soto pulls out his phone, shows Marcus the screen, the evidence preservation order, the authorization code, the timestamp. "Because I've been waiting years for someone Keller couldn't silence, someone the system couldn't ignore." Detective Adrian Soto leans forward. "You're that someone, Justice Whitaker. And if you give me 30 minutes, I'll give you everything you need to bury him." Marcus considers. He has spent years on the bench. He knows how to read people, how to separate truth from performance. Detective Adrian Soto is telling the truth. 30 minutes, Marcus says. "Then my wife goes live. That's all I need." Detective Adrian Soto stands and walks to the door. He pauses. "For what it's worth, I'm sorry this happened to you. It shouldn't have happened to anyone." "I know." Detective Adrian Soto's voice is heavy. "That's why I do this job." He leaves. Marcus sits alone in the interview room. The fluorescent light buzzes overhead. The camera in the corner blinks silently. Officer Vance Keller does not know about that camera. He will. The door opens. Officer Vance Keller steps into interview room 3. Alone. No partner, no supervisor, just him and the black man who ruined his afternoon. He drops a folder on the table and sits down. The chair scrapes against the floor. All right, let's make this easy. He opens the folder. Empty. A prop. Where'd you get the car? Marcus's voice is level. I'd like to know the charges against me. Charges? Officer Vance Keller laughs. How about grand theft auto? How about possession of stolen property? How about resisting arrest? I didn't resist anything. You were uncooperative. Same thing. Marcus takes a breath. I'd like to speak with a lawyer. Lawyer? Officer Vance Keller leans back. You watch too much TV. This is just a conversation. Two guys talking. Then I'm free to leave. Sit down. Am I being detained? Officer Vance Keller's smile fades. What do you think? I think you're required to inform me of my status. That's not opinion. That's Richardson versus Ohio 2019. Silence. Officer Vance Keller blinks. You a lawyer or something? Marcus does not answer. He lets the question hang. Outside the room, Detective Adrian Soto stands behind the one-way glass. His phone is raised. Recording. The audio is clear. The video is steady. This is not official procedure. This is insurance. Because Detective Adrian Soto knows how these things get buried, how footage disappears, how reports get rewritten, how victims become suspects and suspects become victims. Not this time. Officer Vance Keller shifts in his chair. The black man's calm is unnerving. Most people break in this room. They sweat, they stammer. They confess to things they did not do just to make it stop. This one is different. Let me explain something, Officer Vance Keller says, leaning forward. I've been doing this for 9 years. I've got commendations, awards. I'm Officer of the Year twice. You know what that means? It means you've learned how to perform. Officer Vance Keller's face reddens. Excuse me? Commendations measure compliance, not competence. Awards measure politics, not justice. Being Officer of the Year means the system approves of you. It does not mean you are good at your job. The room goes cold. Officer Vance Keller stands. His chair tips backward. Who the hell do you think you are? Marcus remains seated. Someone who knows the law better than you do. You don't know anything. I know you ran my plates twice. I know they came back clean both times. I know you arrested me without probable cause, without allowing me to present identification, and without informing me of the charges. I know you used excessive force during a compliance stop. I know you turned off your body camera twice during this detention. Officer Vance Keller freezes. That's 15 violations so far. Marcus's voice does not waver. We're up to 16 now since you entered this room alone without a supervising officer. Shall I continue? Officer Vance Keller says nothing. I've been counting since the moment you opened my door. Every word, every action, every violation. You're bluffing. Richardson versus Ohio, Barnes versus Columbus, Thornton versus State, Marcus pauses. Do you know what those cases have in common? Officer Vance Keller's mouth opens. Nothing comes out. I wrote them. The words land like a physical blow. Officer Vance Keller steps backward. You what? I wrote the opinions. Barnes was 2018, Thornton was 2021, Richardson was 2019. Marcus stands slowly. My name is Marcus Whitaker, Associate Justice, Ohio Supreme Court. The color drains from Officer Vance Keller's face. And soon, I'll be publishing a ruling on police accountability, a ruling that addresses exactly this kind of misconduct. Marcus straightens his cuffs. I was going to write it based on case files and statistics. Now I have first-hand experience. Officer Vance Keller stumbles toward the door. You might want to call your union representative, Marcus says calmly. You're going to need one. Officer Vance Keller bursts out of the room. The door slams behind him. Through the one-way glass, Detective Adrian Soto lowers his phone. He has everything. Every word, every confession, every moment of Officer Vance Keller realizing his career is over. He saves the video, backs it up, sends a copy to his personal email. Then he enters the interview room. That was impressive, he says. Marcus rubs his wrists. The cuffs are off now. That was necessary. Your wife is outside. She's been waiting. How long? 18 minutes. Marcus nods. Then we have 12 minutes before she goes live. What do you want to do? Marcus looks at the camera in the corner. The one Officer Vance Keller never noticed. I want that footage, and I want his personnel file, and I want to stand in front of those news cameras and tell the truth. Detective Adrian Soto smiles. I can arrange that. The door to interview room 3 opens. Captain Lyle Hargrove stands in the doorway. His face is pale. His hands are shaking. Mr. Whitaker. He can barely meet Marcus's eyes. There's been a misunderstanding. You're free to go. Marcus stands. I'll need documentation of this detention. Of course, we'll have someone prepare. Detective Soto can assist. Marcus's voice is calm, pointed. Captain Lyle Hargrove stiffens. He did not know Detective Adrian Soto was watching. He did not know anyone was watching. The walls are closing in. Detective Soto is... Captain Lyle Hargrove struggles for words. He's internal affairs. This is a patrol matter. Captain, Marcus's tone is final. Detective Soto or I, call my lawyer. Your choice. Captain Lyle Hargrove nods weakly. Soto. Yes, of course. Marcus walks out of the room. His steps are steady. His shoulders are straight. He passes Officer Vance Keller in the hallway. Officer Vance Keller presses himself against the wall. He cannot look up, cannot speak, cannot breathe. Marcus does not acknowledge him. He does not need to. The power has shifted. At the front desk, Elena waits. Her phone is in her hand, still recording. Her eyes lock onto Marcus the moment he appears. She does not run to him, does not cry, does not make a scene. She simply nods. He nods back. 23 years of marriage. They do not need words. Marcus reaches her and stops for a moment. Just a moment. He closes his eyes. His shoulders drop. The tension releases. He rubs his wrists where the cuffs bit into his skin. The marks are red, angry. They will bruise by morning. Elena photographs them. Evidence, she says quietly. He opens his eyes. Always. She glances at her phone. 3 minutes, then I go live. Wait. Marcus takes her hand. Let's do this right. Together. Outside. The press is already there. I know. He squeezes her hand. That's the point. They walk toward the exit side by side. The desk sergeant watches them pass. The officers in the hallway step aside. No one speaks. The glass doors open. Afternoon light floods in. The sound of cameras. The murmur of reporters. Marcus takes a breath. This is it. The moment everything changes, they step outside. The parking lot is transformed. News vans, satellite dishes, reporters with microphones, cameras pointed like weapons. Elena's texts worked. Marcus walks to the center of the crowd. Elena stays one step behind. Her phone raised. Live stream active. The viewer count climbs. 10,000. 50,000. 200,000. A reporter shouts, "Sir, can you tell us what happened?" Marcus raises his hand. The crowd quiets. My name is Marcus Whitaker. His voice carries across the lot. Steady, clear, unbroken. I am an Associate Justice of the Ohio Supreme Court. 30 minutes ago, I was arrested in this parking lot for stealing my own car. Gasps ripple through the crowd. Phones rise higher. Cameras zoom closer. I was waiting for my wife. She was inside the grocery store. I was sitting in my vehicle reading a legal document. I was doing nothing wrong. He pauses, lets the words settle. Officer Vance Keller approached my car. He did not ask for identification. He did not explain why he stopped me. He told me, and I quote, "A black man in a $60,000 car. You stole it." The crowd murmurs. Some reporters exchange glances. He pulled me from my vehicle. He slammed me onto the hood. He handcuffed me without probable cause. He called me your kind. He said my papers were fake. He said I was a thief. Marcus holds up his wrists. The red marks are visible even from a distance. He did all of this while a crowd watched, while teenagers filmed and laughed, while adults nodded their approval. Not one person asked if I was okay. Not one person questioned the officer. He lowers his arms. I do not share this story for sympathy. I share it because I am lucky. I am a Supreme Court justice. I have resources. I have connections. I have a wife who is a retired FBI special agent. He gestures to Elena. I have people who will believe me. Elena steps forward. The live stream counter has crossed 1 million. My name is Elena Whitaker. I spent 23 years as an FBI special agent. When I exited that store and saw my husband in handcuffs, I did what I was trained to do. I documented. She holds up her phone. This live stream has been running for 28 minutes. 1.8 million people are watching right now. The footage shows everything. The arrest, the crowd, the silence. She lowers the phone. But I have more than just my footage. The crowd leans in. This is retired FBI Special Agent Elena Whitaker requesting the immediate release of all body cam footage from Officer Vance Keller's arrest of my husband. A voice from behind them. That footage doesn't exist. Everyone turns. Detective Adrian Soto walks through the station doors. He carries a folder, a thick folder. Officer Vance Keller's body camera was deactivated twice during the detention. Detective Adrian Soto's voice is calm, professional, damning. I have the timestamp logs, 3:42 p.m. and 4:01 p.m. Each deactivation is a violation of department policy. Each is grounds for termination. Officer Vance Keller's Instagram post flashes through Marcus's mind. Another day, another caller. Not anymore. Detective Adrian Soto opens the folder. I've been investigating Officer Vance Keller for months. In that time, I've documented 8 prior complaints against him. 8 citizens who reported excessive force, racial profiling, and civil rights violations. He pulls out a stack of papers. Every single complaint was closed without action. Every single one was buried by department leadership. He glances at the station doors. Captain Lyle Hargrove is watching from inside. His face is ashen. The pattern is clear. Officer Vance Keller targets black drivers in affluent areas. His complaint rate is 3 times the department average. His use of force incidents are 4 times higher than any other officer in his precinct. Detective Adrian Soto places the folder on the hood of the nearest car. This ends today. A reporter pushes forward. Detective Soto, are you saying there's a cover-up? I'm saying there's a pattern that was ignored, a pattern that was protected. Detective Adrian Soto meets the camera directly. 8 people came forward. 8 people were told their experiences didn't matter. Today, a 9th person came forward. But this time, the system couldn't ignore him. He turns to Marcus. Justice Whitaker, I'm sorry this happened to you, but I'm grateful it happened on camera because now the whole world can see what we've been fighting for months. Marcus nods. Detective Soto, thank you for your work. Thank you for believing the first 8 victims, even when no one else did. The live stream counter crosses 2.3 million. A reporter shouts, Justice Whitaker, isn't it true you're currently writing an opinion on police accountability? Marcus takes a breath. Yes, I am writing a ruling that will reshape police accountability in Ohio. It's due soon. He pauses. I was going to write it based on case law and statistics. Now I'll write it based on experience. Another reporter. What does the ruling say? I can't discuss pending decisions, but I can tell you this. Qualified immunity cannot shield willful misconduct. When officers weaponize authority against citizens, the law must respond. He looks directly into the cameras. I was treated this way because I'm black, because I drove a nice car, because I was in a neighborhood where someone decided I didn't belong. That's not law enforcement. That's profiling. That's prejudice. That's injustice. He gestures to the crowd. But here's what Officer Vance Keller didn't know. Here's what none of them knew. Marcus reaches into his pocket and pulls out his wallet. He opens it, holds up his ID. I am not just a black man in a Lexus, I'm an Associate Justice of the Ohio Supreme Court. I've sat on the bench for 12 years. I've written over 300 opinions. I've dedicated my life to the law. He puts the wallet away. But it shouldn't matter who I am. It shouldn't matter what I do. The law should protect everyone equally. If it only protects judges and senators and celebrities, it protects no one. Elena steps beside him. Their hands find each other. My husband could have told Officer Vance Keller who he was. He could have ended this in 30 seconds. She looks at Marcus. Why didn't you? Marcus is quiet for a moment. Because the man behind me in traffic might not be a judge. The woman Officer Vance Keller stops. Next week might not have connections. The teenager he profiles next month might not have a lawyer. He shakes his head. I stayed silent because my silence reveals the truth. The truth about how black people are treated in this country. The truth about what happens when no one is watching. He looks at the cameras again. Well, now you're watching. 2.3 million of you. And what you do with this moment matters more than what happened in that parking lot. Inside the station, Officer Vance Keller watches through the window. His phone has been buzzing non-stop. His Instagram post now has thousands of comments. None are supportive. The door opens behind him. Captain Lyle Hargrove enters. Keller. His voice is hollow. Badge and gun. Now. Captain, I didn't know. That's the problem. Captain Lyle Hargrove holds out his hand. You never do. Officer Vance Keller's fingers tremble as he reaches for his badge. 9 years. 9 years of service. 9 years of commendations and awards and being told he was the best. Gone in one afternoon. The badge leaves his chest. The weight disappears. He feels lighter and emptier. He places it in Captain Lyle Hargrove's hand. Then the gun. Administrative leave, Captain Lyle Hargrove says. Pending investigation. Don't leave town. Officer Vance Keller nods. He cannot speak. Cannot think. The badge hits the desk with a heavy clink. The sound echoes. Outside, the press conference continues, but inside, in this small hallway, a career ends. Officer Vance Keller, 2-time Officer of the Year, stands alone. The hallway is silent. No one comes to comfort him. No one says it will be okay because it will not. Soon the Ohio Supreme Court building rises against a gray morning sky. Columns of marble, steps worn smooth by a century of footsteps, a place where words become law. Marcus Whitaker walks through the front entrance. His robes flow behind him. His footsteps echo in the rotunda. He enters his chambers. The ruling waits on his desk. Hundreds of pages, years of case law, months of drafting, and now one new footnote. Recent events have underscored the urgency of this ruling. The author has personally experienced the conduct this opinion addresses. 14 words. They will be cited in hundreds of future cases. Marcus signs the final page. The ruling is complete. By noon it is published. By evening it is national news. Qualified immunity cannot shield willful misconduct. When officers weaponize authority against citizens, the law must respond. The words ripple across the country. In Westbrook, the ripples become waves. Officer Vance Keller is formally charged days later. False arrest, civil rights violation, evidence tampering for the body camera, deactivations. Federal prosecutors add their own charges. He faces years in prison. His lawyer advises a plea deal. Officer Vance Keller refuses. He wants his day in court. He will get it, but not the way he imagined. Captain Lyle Hargrove resigns weeks later. His letter cites personal reasons. The truth is simpler. The 8 complaint files he buried are now under federal review. His pension is frozen, pending investigation. He cleans out his office on a Sunday morning. No ceremony, no farewell, just cardboard boxes and silence. Detective Adrian Soto is promoted to lieutenant. His months-long investigation becomes a model for internal affairs departments nationwide. Police academies request his training materials. Law schools invite him to lecture. He declines most of them. He has work to do. Officer Lauren Reyes, the backup who hesitated in the parking lot, requests a transfer. She moves to community policing. She starts a mentorship program for minority officers. I should have said something, she tells a reporter. I knew it was wrong. I stayed quiet anyway. She pauses. I won't make that mistake again. Her program graduates dozens of officers in its first year. The teenager who filmed the arrest deletes her social media accounts. The comments were too much. The guilt was worse. Months later, she enrolls in a criminal justice program. The man in the business suit who drove away gives an anonymous donation to the NAACP. It does not erase his shame. Nothing will. The grandmother who hurried past writes a letter to the editor. I saw injustice, and I walked away. I was afraid. I was wrong. If I ever see something like that again, I will not be silent. The letter goes viral, and the Whitaker family, they sit on their porch on a Tuesday evening. The sun sets orange and gold. The neighborhood is quiet. Elena holds a glass of wine. Marcus holds her hand. You could have told him, she says, right there in the parking lot. I'm a Supreme Court justice. One sentence. All of this would have stopped. Marcus is quiet for a long moment. That's exactly why I didn't. She looks at him. If I have to announce my title to be treated with dignity, then the system is already broken. The law should protect everyone equally, not just judges, not just senators, not just people with connections. He squeezes her hand. I stayed silent because my silence was the evidence. The evidence that a black man doing nothing wrong can still be treated like a criminal. The evidence that crowds will watch and laugh. The evidence that officers will lie and leaders will cover it up. Elena nods slowly. And if you weren't a judge, if I weren't FBI, if we were just people, Marcus's jaw tightens, then no one would have listened. That's the truth. That's the injustice. That's what the ruling is about. He looks out at the street. I write opinions because words can change systems. Adrian investigates because evidence can expose corruption. You pressed record because documentation defeats denial. He turns to her. But none of it matters if people stay silent, if they watch and do nothing, if they choose comfort over courage. Elena leans her head on his shoulder. So what do? We keep watching. We keep recording. We keep fighting. He takes a breath. Until the system changes, someone has to be watching. They sit in silence as the sun disappears. A car passes on the street. A young black man behind the wheel. A nice car. A nervous expression. A police cruiser follows, 3 cars behind. The young man checks his mirror, his hands tighten on the wheel, then the cruiser turns left, drives away. The young man exhales. His shoulders drop. He continues home. Inside his car, a dash cam blinks silently, recording just in case, because that is the world they live in. A world where black men buy dash cams like insurance policies. A world where driving while black is a calculated risk. A world where justice depends on who is watching. But maybe slowly things are changing. Maybe Officer Vance Keller's arrest matters. Maybe Marcus's ruling matters. Maybe one viral video, one honest detective, one brave wife with a phone can shift the balance. Maybe the next time a cop sees a black man in a nice car, he will think twice. Not because it is right, but because it is recorded. Because the world is watching, because the cost of injustice has finally become too high. Marcus Whitaker looks at the empty street. Until the system changes, he says quietly, someone has to be watching. He turns to Elena. One of the most powerful lessons from this story is that dignity should never depend on status, wealth, or title. Marcus Whitaker was humiliated, judged, and treated like a criminal, not because of what he had done, but because of how others chose to see him. Yet instead of responding with hatred, he responded with calm, truth, and courage. That is what makes this story so emotional and unforgettable. It reminds us that real strength is not always loud. Sometimes it is the quiet decision to endure injustice without losing your humanity, while trusting that truth will eventually rise. It also teaches us that silence from bystanders can be just as painful as the injustice itself. When people watch wrong being done and say nothing, they become part of the problem. But when someone chooses to document, to speak up, and to stand for what is right, that is where change begins. In real life, many people will never have power, fame, or influence to defend themselves, which is why compassion, fairness, and courage from ordinary people matter so much. This story challenges all of us to ask, when we witness injustice, will we look away, or will we have the courage to stand up? That choice defines who we are. If this story touched your heart, let us know in the comments what lesson spoke to you the most. And if you believe in powerful stories that inspire truth, justice, and humanity, please subscribe to the channel and join us for more unforgettable moments.